This is the Razer Edge, a $400 gaming handheld with Android. But is this console actually worth it? Let's find out. So I've had the Razer Edge now for about 2 weeks. I've been able to put some decent time into this console, and I've got to say that overall, build quality wise, experience wise, it's pretty decent. However, there's one question that I have that I'm pretty sure every other reviewer and every other person who's used this console also has, and that's, who is this actually for? So essentially what the Razer Edge is a gaming tablet that has the gaming accessory, the Kishi V2. I mean, literally you can just remove the Kishi V2 from the Razer Edge tablet and it just becomes a large phone-sized tablet. Which basically means if you're buying the Wi-Fi version of this console, you're buying a $300 tablet that comes with a $100 controller accessory that you could buy separately for your phone. And therein lies the problem of the Razer Edge. What this offers is something that you can actually get right now with your phone and a $100 accessory. But we'll get more into that later on in the video. First things first, there are two versions of this tablet. There's the Wi-Fi version, which starts at $400, and the 5G version, which is a little bit more expensive, and you also have to pay a monthly fee. Now, unfortunately, these connectivity differences are not the only differences between these two consoles. The cheaper $400 Wi-Fi version comes with 6 GB of RAM, and the 5G version comes with 8 GB of RAM. Why Razer decided to give one tablet 8 gigs versus 6 gigs, I'm not sure. Initially, when press first came out about this tablet, it was said that they would both have 8 GB of RAM, and then later Razer sent out an email to people who pre-ordered the device like myself, letting us know that we could cancel because the Wi-Fi version came with 6 gigs and not 8 gigs like it originally said. Now, while that's not totally a deal breaker, it was something that bothered me and something that made me reconsider my purchase. I obviously still did go ahead and buy this tablet, but it was something that really did kind of bum me out. But obviously this is a gaming tablet, so let's talk about some gaming. There are a couple different options for gaming that you have when you buy this device. The first is playing Android games from the Google Play Store because this is an Android tablet. The second is playing Xbox games through the Xbox cloud streaming service, and the third is using Steam Link. There are a bunch of other ways to play games on this device, like downloading emulators and things like that, but those are the three main ways that they expect you to use this console. And as you probably expected, as an Android tablet, it works fine. It's a pretty powerful Android tablet. For Steam Link, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get a chance to try that, but I did try xCloud and Microsoft's cloud streaming service, and it was actually pretty decent. Now, I did have some issues. The first is that when you actually load into a game, and this might be something to do more with the streaming service than with the tablet itself, it didn't always register the button presses or even the controller itself. In some cases, in order to start a game or even play a game, I actually had to use the touchscreen to navigate my way into the game itself, and then eventually I could start using the controller. Again, I'm not sure if that's a cloud service issue or a tablet issue, but either way, kind of annoying. However, I will say once I got cloud streaming working, it worked totally fine for me. I grabbed the Wi-Fi version of this device, so I could only play that over Wi-Fi, but my Wi-Fi speeds are relatively fast, so I had no latency issues. If you have the 5G version of the device, obviously you can play this out in the wild with 5G. I've heard good things about their connectivity. I heard that it works relatively well. Obviously, cloud streaming is not going to be as on point as actually playing a game on a console. The graphics are not going to be as good because you're streaming it directly from a console or from a service rather than playing it on the device itself. However, you can do that on your current phone as long as you have a new-ish phone. You don't need this tablet specifically. And again, you can buy this Kishi attachment and attach it to your phone, and you essentially have the same exact device that you have right here for $400. It now features a headphone jack and also haptics, which is awesome. That's something that you didn't get on the V1. However, now, at the time of recording this video, you can actually buy the V2 in stores like Best Buy. You couldn't when this device first came out. You could only buy the V1, but now you can buy the V2 for $100. So again, that begs the question, why would you buy the Razer Edge for $400 at its cheapest price point when you could just buy the Kishi V2 itself for $100 and play on your phone with a screen that's probably about the same size? Actually, speaking of the screen, let's talk about it. This screen is an AMOLED FHD screen. It comes with 144 Hz, which is amazing, which also makes sense for Android games. However, there is one thing about this screen that just really pisses me off, and it shouldn't because I have an iPhone and the iPhone does the same thing, but whenever I play streamed games like Xbox games, I don't think of this being an issue until I actually see it, but that's that the corners of this screen are curved. I don't know why you do that on a gaming tablet, especially when it means that you actually have to scale down the video itself in order to fit, but for whatever reason, that's a choice that they made. It also makes the time on the Android tablet kind of pressed right up against the corner, which I just think looks awful. The spacing is just terrible in my opinion, but that's a design choice. They made it, and I hate it. But unfortunately, even though this is a 144 Hz screen, you can't utilize that frame rate on streamed games, so it almost doesn't even matter. And again, if you have an Android phone, you're gonna get all of this on your Android phone anyway. So why would you spend the money on something you already have? It seems redundant. Also, I had to redo a take because the battery indicator popped up on the screen and said that it was almost out of battery, which brings up another point. Battery life on this is not great. It's not terrible, it's just not great, and it's not as good as phones that are out there, which is, again, kind of frustrating. Another detail that I think is kind of dumb, and maybe it's something you could change in settings, I'm just not sure, but the volume rocker on the top of the device is backwards. To go up in volume, you actually click the left side, and to go down in volume, you click the right side. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's how they have it set up, so there's that as well. I guess it would make sense if you use it vertically, but when are you ever going to play this vertically, especially with this Kishi attachment? So that's just a weird choice again. But at this point, let's talk about what I liked about this device. So the actual power of the tablet is good. It's a very powerful tablet. It's a size that, you know, isn't great for anything other than playing some games on. Like, I wouldn't sit around and watch YouTube videos on this, although you can. I'd rather use like an iPad or a phone or something like that. In my opinion, this is just sort of a weird size for anything other than gaming. But again, the tablet is pretty well built. It's actually got physical fans in there, so it cools itself down pretty well. Again, the screen is nice. It's powerful. There's all of that. But for me, the real shining star of this, I guess, package, because it's a two-part package, it's the Kishi V2. And again, you can buy this separately. The buttons are super clicky and feel great. It obviously scales to fit really any phone size. It's super easy to attach to all your devices. The triggers are nice. You've got actually 3 triggers, which is really cool. You've got 2 joysticks, which click. You've got a decent D-pad. It's all around a really solid attachment, and now it has haptics and a headphone jack. So I don't know, I feel like if you're gonna buy anything, buy this. I know this has been sort of a short and scatterbrained review of the Razer Edge, and that's mainly because I just struggled to find a use case for this device. There's nothing wrong with the device in and of itself. It performs well enough at what it's designed to do, but I just don't see why you'd buy this over a Kishi and a phone that you already have, or a Steam Deck. And while this isn't the same as a Steam Deck, you don't do exactly the same things, it's the same price as the lowest end Steam Deck. And I've had so much fun with the Steam Deck. It's been an incredible device. It can do a lot of the same things. I would just say, if you're looking for a gaming handheld that's powerful, that you can play full-on console games on, go with the Steam Deck. This just isn't worth it for me. However, if you're looking for this exact form factor, a tablet of this size, or you just love Razer, maybe grab it. But those are the only reasons I think you'd want to grab this. Not to say it's a bad thing again, but I think the market for this device is so small, I just don't know why they released it. You know, in kind of a weird way, it feels like a tech demo for the Kishi V2, like showing how good this attachment for your phone can be. And I feel like that's all it really should be. Like, this is a device that could live at CES, you could leave it at a booth to show off how dope the Kishi V2 is, but the tablet itself just feels unnecessary, and I'm not sure exactly why they released it to the public, because I just don't think it's selling that well. But hey, at this point, I would love to know your thoughts on the Razer Edge, whether you own one of these, the 4 of you that do, or you don't, probably everyone else in the world, and what you like about it. Let me know your thoughts on this device in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.